Why did European merchants bow to African businessmen in 1400? Because our ancestors controlled the world's wealthiest trade network centuries before colonization rewrote history. They've spent 5 centuries convincing you that business acumen came with ships and conquest. But Musa's Mali Empire generated more gold than medieval Europe combined. The Ethiopian Emperor Zara Yacob built trade partnerships stretching from Venice to Beijing. The Swahili merchants of Kilwa created Africa's first international banking system in 1200 AD. Your ancestors weren't primitive. They were billionaires. In 1324, Musa's Hajj to Mecca crashed Cairo's gold market for 12 years. He carried so much wealth that chroniclers wrote, "This man controls more gold than Rome ever dreamed." His empire covered 1.2 million square miles, larger than India today. But here's what they never taught you: Mali's wealth didn't come from luck. It came from revolutionary business principles your ancestors mastered. First principle: control the source, not just the trade. While Europeans fought over scraps, Malian entrepreneurs owned the Bambok gold fields. They understood vertical integration before Harvard existed. They mined gold, processed it, transported it, and sold it globally. Every step was African-owned. Every profit stayed in African hands. Second principle: information is the ultimate currency. The trans-Saharan trade routes weren't just about moving goods, they were Africa's first intelligence network. Timbuktu scholars collected market data from Baghdad to Barcelona. They knew European demand 6 months before Europeans did. They predicted price fluctuations like modern hedge funds. Third principle: diversification creates dynasties. The kingdom of Kush didn't just trade gold. They controlled iron production, exported ivory, dominated the Nile trade routes, and created Africa's first manufacturing hubs. When one market fluctuated, 5 others compensated. Sound familiar? Your ancestors invented the diversified portfolio. By 1400, the Swahili coast operated the world's most sophisticated commercial system. The Sultan of Kilwa issued the first standardized currency in East Africa. Their dhows carried African goods to India and returned with Asian spices. They established permanent trade representatives in Persia and China. These weren't traders, they were multinational corporations. But here's the mindset difference that separated African empires from everyone else: community-centered capitalism. The Buganda Kingdom's entrepreneurial system required successful merchants to invest profits back into their communities. Wealth accumulated, but it also elevated entire populations. Compare this to European feudalism, where wealth concentrated among aristocrats while peasants starved. The Ashanti Kingdom perfected this model. Their gold weight system created Africa's first standardized measurement for international trade. But Ashanti law demanded that prosperous traders fund schools, roads, and public works. Wealth was a responsibility, not just a privilege. This is why Kumasi became one of the world's most advanced cities by 1700. Then 1885 happened. The Berlin Conference carved up Africa like a birthday cake. But even colonization couldn't immediately destroy African business networks. Colonial records from Nigeria show that Hausa merchants continued dominating West African trade until the 1920s. They had 5 centuries of entrepreneurial DNA that couldn't be erased overnight. Here's what they really fear you remember: your ancestors created world-building systems that sustained empires for 1,000 years. They understood compound growth, international markets, risk management, and social impact investing before these became business school buzzwords. The entrepreneur mindset that built Aksum, Mali, Songhai, and Great Zimbabwe lives in your DNA. It's the same instinct that drives African diaspora entrepreneurs to create billion-dollar companies today. It's why African-owned businesses in America generate over $150 billion annually. It's why Nigerian fintech companies are revolutionizing global banking. They tried to bury this knowledge because they knew what would happen when you remembered. When you realize that business mastery isn't foreign, it's your inheritance. Every time you think bigger, risk bolder, or build something that outlasts you, your ancestors smile. Because they didn't just give you life, they gave you the blueprint for generational wealth. You're not learning entrepreneurship. You're remembering it. Follow PannaLens as we reclaim the economic wisdom they tried to steal.